it was a time that I wouldn't even walk past the mirror because I just felt like, ugh, be taking a shower and I felt like, oh my God, I got to get this fat off my legs and I got to get this, everything felt wrong about me to me when I looked in the mirror. And then I had to face that mirror. And I told myself, I said, listen, we're going to get in this mirror every day. And I got in the mirror every morning. And I told myself something positive about myself. And this is while I was still in the relationship. But I had to build me up the strength, the courage to just be like, hell no, we ain't going. And so I tell women, you need to get in the mirror and you need to find everything about you that you don't like, and then you need to reverse it into being beautiful. And you need to tell yourself this every day, something that's beautiful to you about you. And it actually works. It builds you up. And now when you look in the mirror, you're like, I'm a bad mother. Yes. You know what I mean? And you feel beautiful. But you have to build yourself back up so that you don't stay in relationships and situations like that with people. And don't be afraid if you've been in 5-10 relationships. Oh well, keep going until you get to the right one. But never stay in an abusive relationship. And a lot of people are abused by their parents. And we as parents, we don't always do things the right way. But some of us know that we're wrong and we'll still do wrong. And when it's time to do right, we won't because we're cowards. So, I mean, as I said, so many people are dealing with abuse in this time. And you can look at a person and think they have everything going for themselves, or they're so perfect, or they're this or they're that. And you will never know what that person has been through in their life or maybe still going through. So, I mean, we just got to be strong to get out of the situation, and don't be afraid to tell people no. Don't be afraid to tell people you're not going to deal with this or deal with that. And then it comes to friends, that comes to kids, that comes to parents. If someone is going to treat you wrong or want to use you, abuse you, say no. It is your right to say no, and don't feel guilty about saying no. Don't feel guilty about getting out. The only difference is when you're in an abusive relationship and you finally get the strength to get out, that fear will sit there. It was still, and sometimes I still have nightmares about things happening to me because I was so afraid of, if you leave, I'm going to kill you. I'm never going to let you be with anybody else. Nobody else is going to raise my kids. And that fear will sit with you. But guess what? You know how to protect yourself. You've survived this long with this person. If something happens, you know how to protect yourself. The key is to get out, not go back, stay out. But the fear, it will sit with you for a while. The guilt will sit with you for a while. Even the, oh my God, I miss him, I miss her, I miss the things we used to do. Because come on now, we all know that the whole relationship isn't going to be bad. Your mind goes back to when you first meet that person, what attracted you to that person, maybe how good the sex is, this and that. And that also covers up the abuse, because now you're vulnerable and you have to cut that all the way off. That's not meaning I'll go out with you this week, but then I'm going to go on back to my house and you go on back to your house. No, that's playing mind games with that person. You're leading that person on. That is really going to inflame the situation with that person. And then that person is going to feel like, hey, you playing with my emotions. And then they will try to hurt you even more. There is no texting, no back and forth. If I see you, hey, how you doing? That's it. You have to keep it at a minimum. You don't go back and forth with that. With the abuse thing, because more women have been, once you get a restraining order, that's usually when the violence goes to a different level, because this person is saying, oh no, you didn't. Oh, you think that's going to stop me? I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you that nothing is going to stop me. Not a damn piece of paper, not a police. So you still have to be mindful of protecting yourself. Now, I believe that everybody should bear arms. Men, women, for protection. Let me clear that up. For protection. Especially women. Because you have to protect yourself. And that's just like me. I had nobody to protect me when I was 15, 16, going through what I was going through. And I love my mother to death. But hey, things happen. It's just what it was at that time. I didn't have anybody to tell me that's not right. I didn't have anybody I can go to and say, hey, such and such did this to me. Is that right, or should that? I was young. I was a child, raising a child. So I don't blame myself for staying, in situations that I stayed in. I took it as my past did lead me to being in situations, even as a grown woman in my 30s. I'm doing stuff I know dang on well I shouldn't be doing or letting happen to me. But you do it because you're thinking, well, this situation is better than the last one. And then, that the Betty White song, having a piece of man is better than having no man at all. I'm trying to tell you, women really used to feel that way. I mean, he may not even be a piece of man. He may be a scratch of a man. And they feel like it's better than no man at all. And they'll take that and they'll stay in that relationship and make that relationship work while he is out with she and he. Now they, all type of stuff go on and people stay. And that's what they thought back in the day. But that's not right. You don't want a piece of a man. You want a whole man. Same thing with a man and a woman. You want a whole woman. A friend of mine, and he hit me up. We talked, and his situation is similar. This is why I say, women can be abusive as well. And I tell fellas, I say, look, you got one life to live, and it's yours. What you don't want to do is feel like because you're the man, you got to be embarrassed to get out of a situation. You got to feel like you have to stay in a situation with this person, and you know that this person is doing you wrong. And nobody deserves to be abused physically, mentally, by a narcissist. Either one. Nobody deserves that. And I talked to him, and I had to be mindful of what I said, because you don't want to say the wrong things to people, and that person is probably, we all go back the first time, second time, whatever. I ain't gonna say we all, but most. So you have to be mindful of what you say. But I've never been one to say, yeah, just deal with it. I'm not going to do that either. I will tell you right from wrong. But ladies, if you're with this man and you have to put your hands on him, then it's time to let it go. If he makes you so mad that you have to put your hands on him, then you need to really rethink that situation. You can't really just point the fingers, but nobody should be able to take you out of your element to where you want to put your hands on him. And if you're fighting out of jealousy, most people I know are actors, professionals, they DJ or they sing or whatever. So you're in the limelight. You're out there like that. And if you're not the type of person that can handle that type of exposure from, to your mate, then that's not the type of relationship you should plant yourself in. Because some people will say, oh, she's popular. Oh, he's popular. So yeah, I want to be with. If you can't take that type of exposure, then you don't need to be in that relationship. If it's going to cause you to be abusive, you don't need to be in a relationship. Men, get out. Don't stay in relationships just because. Now I'm going to say this, women are insecure, but I really feel like more men are more insecure than women. And here they go, they're going to say I'm male bashing, but I'm not. From knowledge, of knowing people, Men, you deal with a lot. I mean, if you have high blood pressure, something may not work right. You got low blood pressure, something may not work right. If you're overweight, something may not work right. If you're older, something may not. And then you got the younger men. Now, if your woman is attractive, she works with all younger men, that's going to have you feeling some type of way. Same thing as women, but women, I think we may just handle it a little different. Some women go off the wire, act all crazy. But men, I mean, y'all tend to get violent sometimes, or act out, or cheat, or whatever it is. But, yeah, so I know, I crack myself up. And I know most people look at me and they're like, oh my God, she just thinks she's so much. And then she's always looking mean. She's always this, she's always that. And I mean, I'm really not, but I've been around. And I handle myself different. I carry myself different. I'm not the one that's just going to come to the party if I'm not invited, per se. So if y'all gossiping and cacking and hackling and the hens are cacking and whatever you want to call it, I'm not going to join in. If it's not my party, I'm not going to come. I mean, if I haven't been invited, I'm not going to come. And then even if I do come, I'm not still going to socialize with everybody that's socializing, because I'm just a different type of person, because I've been around. And I know how people can take things. But anyway, that's on a side note. So we're just talking a little bit today about abuse, how it comes in all shapes, form, and fashion. Our parents sometimes are not the best parents. And, sometimes we're not the best parents. But we have to sit down and think about it, and don't be afraid to apologize. Don't be too proud. If you know you ain't been the person that you should be in your relationship, to your kids, never be too proud to apologize. And I really, really, really do my best to be honest as I can. And it's not that I'm trying to hurt someone's feeling. I just want to avoid the backlash. But I'm not going to be with a person that's going to physically abuse me, mentally abuse me, curse me, call me, the B word, and I said it, earlier, the bitch word, whatever. I'm not going to put myself in that type of situation, but it took me a lot of years to love myself enough to notice the red flags, to see the red flags. And, I'm not going to say I'm not human, that I'm like, oh man, if I had to end this is going to be embarrassing. You think that, but guess what? At the end of the day, I really don't care about being embarrassed if it's going to save my life, or spare me from the stress, or spare me from all the other bull crap that come with it. You don't have to put up with someone that's never home. You don't have to put up with somebody that, every time you turn around, it's this girl in their face, that girl in their face. You don't have to put up with them putting their hands on you. You only have one life to live, and it's yours. And you do not have to put up with being hurt by anybody, whether it's physically, mentally. You don't have to put up with that. The key is you have to be strong enough to walk away. You have to be strong enough to say, I'm not going to take this. And don't fall for, because after that happens, the first thing they do is apologize. They can blow you up, and then you feel like, I knew he was going to be all up in my hand, girl. I knew it. Yeah. No. It's a ploy. It's a plot. Don't fall for it. Just don't fall for it. If you know deep down in your heart that this person has mistreated you, then you stick to your guns. Red flags. I want to give you guys some signs of abuse. And I want to say this real quick. Take a minute and just think about what you want out of your life. And you're right, TT. I see you're logged on. Hey, sis. Nobody should put up with disrespect on no level. And that's another thing. You guys can get in the chat room. Talk to me. I am in the chat room. I have about another 15 minutes. Hop on www.spreaker.com. Also, make sure you guys follow me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Beautifully Beautiful. I'm on Wednesday night, 7 p.m. I know that we're all dealing with this corona thing, and people, it is real. I'm not